Hello again. Welcome back to NFL Marble Race Season 2. Finally, after 2 months of finishing the Super Bowl as our champions, the Cleveland Browns. As we go to our roster, this will be the roster up for today, starting from the Cardinals to the Falcons, ending in the Cowboys versus the Seahawks. Now it's going to be kind of I feel like this would be a crazy matchup as referenced from last season. But shall we get into the very first round of it? Obviously, this is the track. Very basic track. This is only going to be for the first 5 weeks. And then I'm going to switch it up and for the other 5 weeks. And then playoffs and... playoffs and then... playoffs and conference and then Super Bowl. Alright, let's get into it. Our first round will be the Arizona Cardinals versus the Atlanta Falcons. All right, as this being the first round of the season 2 of NFL, let's get started. We're both going to start off steadily. Looks like the Cardinals are going to come in a little late. Looks like the Cardinals are already getting stuck, meaning they're going to need to be assisted by obviously the magical hand. The Falcons are going to be coming down the escalator through the loop into our second funnel of the race. Fourth funnel race, by the way. Looks like the Falcons are just taking an enormous lead against the Cardinals. Will the Cardinals catch up, though? That is the question of, I guess, this race. Popping down into the Plinko board, it looks like the Falcons got stuck again in this little hole right here. Let's see how this goes. Will the Cardinals assist? Nope, they will assist. They are both going down into the final funnel. So now it's going to have to come down to who will win the funnel race. And it looks like the Falcons will remain dominant, taking the lead and winning against the Cardinals. Okay, as you can see, if the team wins, the other team will get their helmet flipped. So that's how you know. Well, anyways, our next round will be the team that almost went undefeated into the playoffs, the New York Jets, versus the champions, the Cleveland Browns. All right, round 2. New York Jets versus Cleveland Browns. And the Jets are already fumbling down the rabbit hole. These are two more faster, I want to say, marbles. I don't know how to put that into freaking words. It looks like the Browns are taking an enormous lead right now against the Jets. I keep saying freaking or something. The Browns will be taking the lead down the Plinko board. It looks like the Jets are getting freaking wiped in the dust over here. And I think it's going to be a very easy win for the Cleveland Browns. All right, I'm already starting to see a pattern here. But anyways, the next battle will be the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. And if you're new, yes, I lost the helmet. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Diving on into round 3. They actually both proceed to go at a pretty soon pace. Looks like the Vikings are a lot quicker, it looks like, compared to last year. Let's see, will they get down the funnel faster? No, the Bears will be taking the lead. The Vikings seems to be just chilling around, not caring about what happens in week 1. Week 1 is where it matters here. So we're already determining your power. And it looks like the Bears are just going to take a massive lead against the Vikings. Going down the Plinko board into the final funnel. Well, the Vikings just sit on top. And I guarantee it will be a guaranteed win for the Chicago Bears. Alright, it looks like that power chain has broken up. But now it will be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, here we go in round 4. Jacksonville versus Kansas City. Kansas City got stuck. Gonna have to assist them a little bit. Let's see who goes down first. It's gonna be Kansas City who leads, going down into the second funnel. Jacksonville quickly behind. And let's see, Jacksonville got stuck. Meaning I'm going to have to assist them once again. And it looks like this isn't gonna be good for Jacksonville because Kansas City got a major lead thanks to getting stuck on the Plinko board. Or I mean, whatever the funnel. And it looks like Kansas City is going to come out for the win. Next round will be the Houston Texans versus the San Francisco 49ers. All right, I know these marbles may look similar, but one spotted, one striped. Here we go. Round in, and they are both going left and right. So far, no assistance. But who will be leading the pack? It's going to be the San Francisco 49ers, followed shortly behind by Houston. Now let's see who's going to go it down to. It's still going to be the 49ers. Houston is very shortly behind, though. So it's all going to come down to who has the bigger speed here, it looks like. And the Niners are still going to be taking the lead by very short by short amount of distance. I don't know what to say here. And it looks like the Niners will be taking the win against the Houston Texans. And once again, I think the trend has came back, but it was going to be the Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Commanders. All right, here we go. Buffalo Bills versus Washington Commanders. It looks like the Bills are going to start off strong. Washington shows up a bit late, but has to assist the Bills. Meaning now it's anybody's game. Who's going to go down first? It's going to be Buffalo going down. Commanders not so far behind, but still a little behind. The Bills seem to be taking a very strong lead against the Washington Commanders. Going down to the half circle, into the Plinko board, into the very last funnel. While Commanders just have made it to the Plinko board, and they get stuck. Meaning the Bills just win-ish. Now that trend has happened, I think a different trend is starting. But anyways, our next battle will be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New England Patriots. All right, here we go again. New England will start a small lead while the Raiders fall shortly behind. But let's see how it's going to go once they get down to the center. The Raiders will now be taking the lead in the beginning against the New England Patriots. Let's see who goes down here. It looks like the Raiders again are coming up with a short lead here. But it looks like the Patriots are following not far behind, trying to catch up here. But it looks like the Raiders are going to keep holding their ground in first place against the Patriots. And the Patriots do get stuck, meaning probably the Raiders are going to win this, which they definitely do. All right, our next battle will be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Detroit Lions. All right, the major difference between these two is one's darker than the other. The darker one's the Rams. Let's go. Rams versus Lions. Who's going to make it down to the center first of the first funnel? Looks like the Lions are a little closer. But who's going to go down? It will indeed be the Lions. The Rams are following short behind, though. This could still be anybody's game here. The Rams are going to sneak past the Lions going down into the third funnel. But it looks like the Lions are not giving up. They're also going to be following down short behind the Rams. But the Rams are going to maintain the lead against the Lions down to the final funnel of the race. Let's see who's going to go down. And it looks like, yep, and then guaranteed will be the Los Angeles Rams. All right, next up, we got the Denver Broncos versus the New York Giants. Here we go. Once again, the Giants have a small lead against the Denver Broncos, it looks like. I think I smacked it a little too hard, but whatever. And let's see who's going to lead. It's going to be the Giants who are going to be leading in the pack, followed by the Broncos shortly behind. Let's see. Will the Broncos actually catch up? The Giants did absolutely terrible last year. So I wonder if they're already going to try to make a comeback here just in week 1 by beating the Denver Broncos. The Giants are going to continue going down to the Plinko board, going down to the last funnel. Broncos shortly behind. They get stuck again, and I can't save them in time. And that means the New York Giants will win. All right, next up will be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Miami Dolphins. Here we go, next battle. Let's see, Miami's going to be leading by a small bit here, but let's see who's going to go down first. It's going to be Philadelphia, or is it going to be Miami? It's going to be Miami who leads very slightly against Philadelphia. Now we're down in the second funnel, and it looks like it's a miss and match, but Miami once again is going to be taking the lead. It looks like it's a very short race, but it looks like Philadelphia is going to be taking back the lead against Miami, going down into our final funnel here. Let's see what goes down. It looks like Miami does get stuck, meaning Philadelphia is probably going to go for the win. Philadelphia will win the race. All right, our next battle is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. All right, here we go. Cincinnati versus Indianapolis. Looks like Cincinnati's already stuck, which might not be a good advantage for them. But who's going to be taking the lead? It's going to be Indianapolis Colts going down into the funnel, going down to the second. The Colts will be continuing to take an outstanding lead against the Bengals here. Colts go down to the half circle, into the Plinko board, into the final funnel. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Bengals are just so far following along. And it looks like the Indianapolis Colts go for the win. All right, next up will be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New Orleans Saints. All right, here we go. Pittsburgh versus New Orleans, and it looks like Pittsburgh's already stuck. So who's going to go down first? It's going to be New Orleans going down into our loop, into our second funnel. Pittsburgh following behind very subtly. Subtle, whatever. Looks like Pittsburgh go down the third as Saints go down to the fourth and final. Will this be a win for the Saints? Or will Pittsburgh make an ultimate comeback somehow in some way? And it looks like Pittsburgh does get stuck on the Plinko, resulting in the Saints getting the win. All right, our next battle we have here is the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Baltimore Ravens. All right, here we go. Los Angeles versus Baltimore. Looks like they are both trying to ring it around, neck and neck. Now, who's going to go down first? It's going to be Baltimore. The Chargers are following around very shortly. Let's see. And the Ravens are still going to have a crazy lead against the Chargers now, thanks to the Chargers holding out. The Ravens are going to go down through the Plinko board into the final funnel. Chargers following right behind. But it looks like the Ravens are closer down, and it's going to result in the Ravens getting the win. All right, next up, we got the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here we go. Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. They're both a Bay, so let's see who wins. Green Bay is going to take the lead, going down into the loop, into the second funnel. Tampa Bay following very short behind. Oh, and it skipped the jump. Okay. Well, I might as well explain this now, but I'm going to stop this here. Green Bay automatically wins due to DNF. It's a disqualification because Tampa Bay technically was supposed to write it like that. Instead of doing that, they go over the loop, but they jump out here, skipping the jump, resulting in trying to catch the lead, which means Tampa Bay is disqualified. Also meaning Green Bay Packers automatically win the round. All right, rolling up to the second to last game of this video. It's going to be the Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans. Here we go, second to last round. Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, who's going to go down first? Is it going to be Tennessee? Oh, Panthers were fighting for it, but Tennessee will make the initial drop, popping in first. It looks like the Panthers are going for a fighting chance, and the Panthers are actually taking the lead for once. That has never happened ever. Because they were terrible. I don't think they've won a single game, but whatever. But Tennessee will indeed take back the lead and take a massive lead against Carolina. And they get stuck, resulting in the Titans getting the win. All right, time for the final game of today. This is going to be the Dallas Cowboys versus the Seattle Seahawks. Time for the final battle of today. Looks like Dallas will start with a very strong lead. Seahawks already got stuck. Let's see how this goes down. Oh, it looks like they're battling. Who's going to make it down first? It's going to be Dallas, followed by Seattle very shortly. Now, who's going to go down to the second tunnel first? It's going to be Dallas once again, but Seattle once again is very far behind. Not very far, I mean very close. Opposite day. Dallas will continue to go down into the Plinko board, into the final funnel. Seattle following down. And is Dallas going to come out with the win? I'm pretty sure they do. And they will indeed become the win for the final battle. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my channel. Like the video, do all the normal things that any normal person would do. If you're not normal, then I don't know what to tell you. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.